Nerd Soul.
Lay Ill Kid at OneYoungsta holding it down, bringing that street geek and nerd soul. What is up, my people? Today, all year, movie reviews. We're talking about, that's right, you know it. The writer, the director, the producer, the star. And man, look, we talking about the man of the hour, the dude with the star on the street. We talking about, that's right, Michael B. Jordan's Creed 3. That's right. But I know it don't say that on the movie, but it might as well say. All right, it's his movie. All right, now I'm by myself. I got gifts. Say what's up, man.
What's really good with y'all, man? It's nice to be back, getting to talk, and I look forward to talking a little Creed 3 over here.
That's right. And Jason of 133 Art, what's up?
What's happening, yo? What's going on?
All right, so I'm gonna throw this out, and then I'm gonna just let y'all go in and chime in. I'm gonna say this. Made a brother cry a little bit at the end, yo. Made a brother cry a little bit at the end. I ain't gonna front. A little baby tear was like, it was kind of bubbling up a little bit. My throat got tight. I'm gonna be honest. You know what I'm saying? I'm a sucker for those father stories. I ain't gonna front, man. Like, brother, I welled up a little something. Was there some emotion in the house with you guys?
Yes, absolutely. I didn't get my Will Smith tear, but I was feeling good at the end. Like I was feeling like a black daddy. You know what I'm saying? I was feeling like a black professional, a black entrepreneur. A black boxer. What I'm saying? I was feeling good at the end, man. I was feeling really good. I agree. I was feeling really good.
All right,
yeah, I mean, it was nice. Even though it got that, trying to give me pursuit of happiness at the end kind of feels connection. It wasn't the part that hit me the hardest. I didn't realize how much of some of these anime vibes were kicking in a little bit harder than I expected when it comes to the connections. The kids now with the Creed stuff, I'm just feeling like everything's becoming generational at this point. So now I'm interested to see what they're gonna do with this one. But the fields were there, but not as heavy I think that I would have expected them to be.
Okay. So walking out of the theater, I was like, you know what? They did it. This is 3 solid movies. None of them are whack. This is a solid trilogy. Michael B. Jordan, you know what I'm saying? He coming through, he did it, you know what I'm saying? We all remember Wallace back in the day, and now he got a solid trilogy, you know what I'm saying? Shouts to Ryan Coogler as well, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm like, we got a solid trilogy. And not only is this well shot, well directed, we got the anime influences and stuff. And as someone who loves boxing, like, they put some of the illest sound design on all them hits. I was like, was somebody like hitting like, I don't know, a side of beef with a bat or something? Like, how do you get these sounds?
They said, hey, look, man, you guys might be practicing on, you might be pretending on film, but I'm practicing for real. I want these sounds to be legit, straight punching ice steaks all night.
The best. This is the only way to train.
Bianca and Donnie crib was laid, son. Like I was like, man, let me get with that office. He made me want to redesign the garage. You know what I'm saying?
I was like, they had the see-through floors. They had the chef working in the kitchen and stuff. Man, look, I was like, you done made it, bro. And in a good way where, he's not one of those boxers that, unfortunately, like some of our greats, they went a little too long. You know what I'm saying? I mean, even Rocky, if you
I think movie, a little too long with Rocky is an understatement right there.
Like, I mean, because the mind or the mental issues he had and stuff, and all the concussions he went through. So he's someone who like left the game. He meaning Creed, like kind of left the game. He was on the top. He was looking good, feeling good. Even setting it up where other boxers could come through and step their level up and all that. He was, he was doing it to the nth degree, in my opinion.
I agree.
And well,
yeah.
Like, I mean, it didn't seem like he had any, like, bad blood with any of the people he was working with. I mean, of course, we're going to get into the movie later, but, I mean, it seems like, upstanding businessman. Nobody was getting jerked and stuff like that. Everything seemed good. So I was like, all right, okay. I see you. I was
it's like he took every lesson from Rocky and from Apollo. Even from his moms, you know what I'm saying? Like, he just took those lessons and kind of forged them into like this sort of second act. And I thought that was a really cool thing to explore, for Coogler and Michael B to explore in the movie, rather than, it's always about the next fight. It's always about the next thing. But what has really been cool with Creed for me is that even in the midst of like fighting these, major opponents or whatever, Creed has always been about Donnie battling what's inside, trying to make amends and really get to the heart of what's bothering him or what's hindering him or whatever. So I thought they did a really good job as well.
Yeah, they killed it on that.
They did. I whenever we initially had these Creed movies, they felt, they definitely set up to be like parallels to the Rocky ones. Like, you had your Russian versus Russian, Ukrainian, and you had your own version of Apollo Creed in the first one from the other side. But as much as I loved the introvert, looking inside, I do feel like to some extent they kind of undercut some of the range of what he was as a business person, because we basically only saw him as the owner of the boxing club, and then talking as a promoter, more so as a fight promoter as opposed to the event promoter. But I didn't feel like it really set the tone hard to be like, he's hard retired. Like, we just got 2017 and then now he's watching another boxer. I feel like I do wish they had given us more of the one, he's the undisputed champion remaining, and the actual impact that does in how he does his day-to-day business. And then some of the other businesses that his hand was in other than promoting, because it felt like it was all in on promoting. So if this boxer didn't do well, it all falls apart. Though they implied he's doing well business-wide, I didn't feel like he was doing more, so that dynamic of him returning back to the ring just felt heavier. You
want to see him with some more chicken joints and, like...
Not even chicken. Look, the man can be doing NFT, let him get his grill. All right, can he get his grill?
A grill? Yo, you know what I'm saying?
Man's a healthy man, all right?
Get a grill, maybe his own line of, like, jump ropes or something, or...
That's what I'm saying. Like, yo, where's the face? Like, I need to see more.
Like, we did see that one ad that he had. It looked like they were going down Wilshire, but that one ad where he was like on Calvin Klein or something.
Yeah, that was actually up there for a while.
Yeah,
it was. Wow.
Yeah, but it's not up there anymore. Zendaya is up there now. We just passed there the other day, actually.
Nice.
Now Zendaya, she like, move over.
At least it's a whole building of black folk, though. I mean, that's what I'm talking about.
And that's why I was thinking. I was like, I think that's Wilshire. Either there's a building like that on Wilshire, and then another one on Sunset where it's like HBO be having the whole wall.
It's around MGM. I think that's Wilshire.
Okay, yeah. So that. I will give you that. Maybe another 5, maybe 10 minutes of showing like business stuff, but that might be something that just got cut for time because they were like, all right, cool, check it. He's successful. Don't ask no questions.
There's a couple things that seem to have gotten cut for time, or just kind of redone too. Like in the trailer, when they're sitting in like what looks like the old juvie he was in. and they like sitting in there, and the kids are cheering, like all along the walls and stuff. There's a part in the trailer where him, Bianca, and Amara sitting like at the what you call them, the cafeteria area, and they're like cheering or something. So I was like, what was that about? Like I would like to see that. And then in the trailer, when she tells him, well, you just have to fight him, but in the movie she tells him, well, you got to do what you got to do. And I kind of I feel like, dang, y'all should have kept the one from the trailer. Like, that was the one.
Yeah, because I think. Go ahead.
Oh no! I was gonna say I'm probably sure they cut I guess you just have to fight him because of what happened with the school stuff at the beginning of the movie. So just like conflict.
Yeah, that's what I thought. She wouldn't. I'm sure that the thought was she wouldn't say that if she's telling the kid not to fight. Blah blah.
Right.
But
yeah,
they could have. They could have linked it.
So with that said, since it seems like we're generally all kind of positive on this, I want to jump into the kid for a second. Not only I'll say this first, the kid did kind of throw me off because I was like, hold up, who daddy is? Who is her daddy? But I was like, hold up, who her daddy? And I guess that also leans back to the Chris Rock joke that he just said a couple nights ago on Netflix, where it'd be like, who her daddy? Because I mean, I'm just saying, I didn't know Tessa was cast as, but I mean, all right. But nah, on the real though, that kid, wow, like that kid was awesome. Got me all wrapped up in like, yo, don't you mess with that girl. Look, right. Yo, when that girl ripped that paper, I was like, get her.
Right.
Well, Mike, you be having them feelings, boy, when it comes to the kids.
Yo, man, with the kids, look, do not mess with the kids, man.
Mike love the kids.
She took that paper and then stared her down and ripped it. I was like, that girl gotta go.
Right.
And they're gonna call me. Where was the other parents? Y'all gonna call me like she was. Come on now.
Like there wasn't an antagonist that started this whole thing. Like,
thank you.
As if it was just One Direction.
I'm like, look, how many other people has she hit? None. Okay, thank you. So apparently this kid did something special.
Well, the teacher says she was always fighting though.
But why is she always fighting? Is she always fighting because she just mean?
But she always fights.
But why is she fighting? People keep messing with her. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
Jump up to get beat down. You know what I'm saying?
I say, that's what I say. If you jump up, you get beat down. I ain't tripping. I'm always staying behind the kid on that one. But from the school's perspective, you can't just have a molly-whopping kid.
Right.
It's the she keeps winning part. I see. You know what the issue was? Is she keeps winning. See, if she had just gotten punched in the face a couple times, they'd probably be like, ooh, worried. But they're like, nah, man, she's just beating everybody, and it's really just one-sided unfairness.
But I feel like she enjoy her character.
Knocking folks out is what it is. Like she just
But I loved her character, even when she was like sneaking and watching the matches. She was just like so endearing, and I like they picked a good kid. I ain't going front. They picked a good kid. Even her kind of like facial expressions when her mom was like no TV, like those kind of things, they came across like real genuine to me.
Right.
So because she was like no TV.
I really like that she was sneaking and watching the fights and actually really learning from them. That's like those kids really do surprise you like that. You know what I'm saying? Like you tell them one thing and you try to espouse all these different values with inside of them, and some of the values, you might be tripping on. And even though her mom was like, don't fight, and her daddy was like, he was kind of, being supportive and, kind of, trying to be a good parent, like, yeah, don't fight, whatever. But she was still like had her own agency, and kids do that. Like we sometimes we take for granted that kids are gonna have their own agency, especially when they get to that age. And I thought it was so true. It felt true to me, because I got an 8-year-old, and I could tell him whatever, and his mom could tell him whatever, but he still has his own agency to go and figure out what's right for him. And I think that's really cool that she was like, and it surprises you in the sense of you don't necessarily know outright all the time. Sometimes you do, but sometimes you don't know that your kids are looking up to you in that way. And I thought it was beautiful that she looked up to her dad, even though, there was circumstances around fighting that she needed to still learn. She was like, man, you felt that she really loved her dad and what he does and was really proud of him. And it looks like she wants to follow in his footsteps. So she's sneaking watching the fight. Also, really true to life. Don't let them fools have an iPad, because they will sneak and watch stuff they're not supposed to watch.
True. And that I mean, even I struggle, like, I have a 5-year-old, and I struggle with, because you'll get that word why, or that word where it's like, but they're wrong, and it's like, okay, you're right, they are wrong, but in this particular situation, we need to let this ride. You know what I'm saying? We can't fight every battle, even though maybe we should, but sometimes we just gotta let some, you know what I'm saying? It's weird, because even I've seen my son stood up for some, when I wasn't there, my son stood up for some kid, pretty much shouting him down, don't be mean to this kid, you're being mean, you should be ashamed of yourself, doing all this, like on a soapbox. And I was like, well, yeah, that's right, that's right, you tell him. But just kind of like gauging where, how far to take it when it comes to, because of course kids are going to have their own agency, and they're not going to have the experience of, like, say, consequences or long-term ramifications or whatever. They're just like, hey, look, this girl ripped my paper and I don't play it. Right. And it's like, well, yeah, she shouldn't have done that. And maybe you should have killed it right then, because if you don't kill it right then what's the next step? What is she going to do next? Because bullies don't stop. Bullies aren't like, hey, I stole your money, I took your lunch money today, okay, I'm done, take it easy. No, it only accelerates. So I mean, I guess there's that side too, where it's like, yeah, you gotta knock her out, let her know.
Well, I like Tessa's quote though. Like, she needs to know why she's fighting at the same time, right? Like that kind of goes into what you're saying, like when to shut it down, or when to, like, let it ride, or when to, like, wait till the teacher not looking. That all that is what we need to teach them. So I thought, like, their discussion about fighting in general, and then how it tied into Donnie, not necessarily being able to go into his feelings, I guess, immediately. He always gets to a point where he can talk, but it takes a while for him to, like,
it's a steady build.
Yeah. I mean, and that's for a lot of people, actually. Like, a lot of people have to figure out what it is first before they can express it. They have to find the words. So I thought all that was really good stuff.
Yo, can we put a real big shout out to the deaf community, because the representation that they're getting lately between this, Last of Us, Quiet Place,
Hawkeye.
Hawkeye, exactly. Buku Contra, though that's not technically the deaf community, it's translators, but still, like, it's like the era 2020 is looking representatively high, hopefully, comparatively, for the deaf community.
It was awesome. Even when he showed Dame how to sign real quick when he came in and met his daughter and stuff.
Yeah, like, that was dope.
I thought that was cool.
Right. Same.
Even grandma learned how to sign, which like, I was like, that is dope.
Yeah. So let's talk about the sort of flashback / storytelling. And I love that they didn't do the flashback in the normal, like, years ago Like they just
Right.
kind of like played it straight. Like this is just part of the movie. It didn't seem like, man, see, way back when this happened, they didn't do that. And I was impressed, man. Shouts to my boy from what is it? The football show. What is it? Okay, it's on CW. It's All American.
All American.
Yeah. Shouts out to the dude from All American. But even in that role of them being, kind of, I guess what seemed to be maybe like 17-ish, 18-ish, and maybe 15-ish, something like that. Their chemistry was great. They really did seem like a kind of like older,
Big brother,
younger
little brother
type pair.
Yeah, I agree. Also, shout out to the movie for repping 2002 hip hop. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
That, man, with the Dre, and man, starting off with the Dre was just epic to me. Like I was like, yo, when I heard that, doom, 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 I was like, wait.
It was like, here we go.
Because it was also like shout out to LA, right? Like even like throughout the whole movie, like even at the end, he was like, "What's up, LA?" Like staring over my city. Like I thought that was really dope. I thought that was dope.
Yeah, they handled that extremely well. Even with their what seemed to be like kind of comfortability around each other, like like razzing each other. Him trying to Donnie trying to talk to the girls, him pulling them back, be like, man, we got time for that. Like just those small things that you kind of either you've done or you've seen, in your circle of friends, where it's like, this seems natural. This doesn't seem like they're acting to make this happen.
Right. Look like it's just a hangout session.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It also adds to the gravitas of their struggle, like their fight, right? Because you realize with Donnie, this is a cat that helped him grow up, right? Like this is literally his older brother, and shout out to Coogler and them for writing. I think Keenan Coogler and another cat wrote the screenplay, and Ryan Coogler wrote the story with another cat, and shout out to them because the storytelling on that level is really fire. Because like, especially with Donnie trying to holler at the little girls and old boy pulling him back, like that is his homie, right? Like that's his dude, and this is a guy that's showing him the ropes. Like he's bringing him into this world almost. And this, when we see Donnie in Creed 1, this is a direct result of him being with Dame, which is just like awesome. Like I really thought that was really cool, and it didn't feel like this necessarily in part 1 versus part 2, but having this be like almost the end cap of all the movies, it's like peeling back layers of Donnie, which is just, but not in a
natural way.
Yeah, not in a way like we're trying to win an Academy Award, because whatever. Right. But like in a way, a natural peeling back of this character, but he still feels like a black man. He still feels like a young dude trying to make it. He still feels like this young boxer with a legacy that he doesn't necessarily want people to know about in the beginning. Like, I just thought, man, some brilliant little concise writing going on there that just opens up the entire thing. Like, I thought that was really good.
Yeah, this movie, and this is no diss, but in a good way, does not have the baggage of Rocky.
Yeah.
This movie in a very good way does not have the baggage.
Well, this movie didn't miss Rocky at all, and I thought that was also.
So that's the part I wanted to say. Too. This was the first time that they finally actually. I feel like they disconnected from the Rocky copy. So it's ironic because it's almost like what we always had talked about with Star Wars. Them trying to do is like, okay, the new ones. You get the first one's a copy, but then you start to find your way. This one is actually doing that. Where before it always, like I said at the beginning, it always felt like there was a Rocky version of a clone. Even this one kind of built up like it was just going to be another Clubber Lang. And it was nothing like that.
Yeah, I think they did that for the trailer to get people kind of give something that was familiar to them.
Yes.
But, yeah. But then when you saw the movie, you were like, "Yo, hold up!" And
No,
I mean, we'll get to Dame, because we're talking about it now. But there's some things about Dame where I was like, "Okay, y'all making movies, like y'all making some real movies." So, we see in the past, he goes, he's like hanging with him. Donnie's hanging with him. He's even putting bets down on him, and you see that Dame at the time is kind of like this phenom already. He's like, the guy was hitting him and he was like looking at Donnie like, all right, watch, checkmate. And it's like, dude's literally calling his shots at that time. And it kind of reminds me, I mean, not exactly, but it kind of reminds me when, and I know, he went a little bit too long, but it kind of reminds me of Roy Jones when he was young. Man, when Roy Jones was young,
ridiculous. That speed.
People don't remember how like he was fast, he was kind of cocky, but you couldn't hit him, and he was on another level, and it kind of gave me that feeling, like, especially when he was like, "Watch, checkmate," and then he just called it, and dude went to sleep. And then he was even in the car like, okay, I'm gonna do this, then I'm gonna go, do the Olympics, then I'm gonna go pro. It's like he kind of already had it in his mind. And we've already seen it displayed where it's like, oh no, this guy's got a chance. He's already boxing Golden Glove. We've seen him kind of like deconstruct the boxer. Like he's got a really good shot. And not only that, it doesn't seem that he's using Donnie. It's almost like we're a pair. Like, like we hang out together, maybe we train together, or we go to these events together. That's what we do. But then also with the sneaking out, it's kind of already alluded to that Mama Creed don't really, well, I guess technically her last name ain't Creed, but like Mama Creed ain't too keen on Dame.
Right.
Well, I also thought that was really good writing too, in the sense of she wouldn't be. Like, nobody thinks that Felicia Rashad, aka Claire Huxtable, aka the Queen, who was raised in the 60s and came up in the 70s and went through the 80s, raised her kids, and then raised another kid in the 90s, would ever be like, this is a good dude to hang with, right?
Right.
Regardless of anything. And I think it was some great writing to kind of use that, like the whole idea of her sort of dissuading them to not be together, because that's your past. Now you in this house, you with me. This is how you navigate the world. It's such a meaty thing to me, and it really helps push that narrative forward of why these two dudes got to fight at the end. Why there's so much animosity. 18 years of animosity because of a mistake Donnie made, a mistake Dame made, and a mistake that the Queen Mother made, right?
Yeah.
Like,
and it's weird because it's also, all those mistakes are understandable.
Yes.
It's like, as someone who's been abused, I can understand being like, oh, no. I'm not 7 no more. I got the power to, and you don't remember me, do you? So I kind of get that. So it's like, it's an understandable mistake. Then on Dame's part, he's like, yo, my boy getting jumped on. I ain't gonna let this happen.
Right.
So I get that. But then I also get the parent, the parent in me is like, look, you gotta let him go. You know what I'm saying? This boy is trouble, and I know you love him. That's great, but he gotta, that's your past. You gotta move on, because this man gonna have you in jail, which is, I can see that thought process.
And that's the other part on this is in setting up for the fact that, once again, in this Naruto kind of way, there are no actual true villains. There are misunderstood, complex people who make extreme decisions.
Yep.
Good or bad. And I think it's really important that we have that distinction, because it makes a movie that in my opinion, still a fairly predictable story. I think we all can agree to that. But the nuances of it are actually what make the shift so much more significant. So initially you go like, okay, Dame is going to be the clear villain, going into it. But as you guys said, the line of actions that occurred to lead him to this point completely makes sense. Outside of his horrible lawyer that he had, clearly, because 18 years on a gun charge, unless this kid already had like dumb, crazy priors, like that's a murder charge.
He didn't have no lawyer. He ain't had no lawyer. And they tacked on 2 years probably because he probably broke somebody's nose in there. So
right,
I'm sure he probably knocked somebody out.
They didn't explain it, but I don't know if they tacked on 2 years. I feel like he'd been out and he set this up.
Oh, you know what? That throws a whole nother layer onto this. I ain't even think about it like that.
It would make sense
if he was
why
out
we ended
for
up
2
in 2017
years and had just been
too.
sitting back.
Watching, waiting. Like, okay, so he get the belt, right? He beat up Felix, who is not built for this. He beat up Felix. And then we go to the beach and we confront him like, yo, what's up, man? You setting dudes up, like, what's the deal? And he got all these boys with him. Like when the movie starts, he got his prison clothes on. He looked like he just came from Alcatraz with Clint Eastwood, you know what I'm saying? And he keep dressing like that for a minute. Like, oh man, I'm down and out and I don't have nothing, that kind of thing. But I feel like that was all part of the setup. Because once he get the belt, he's
got people.
Yeah, you're right. He had a cut man and all that.
Bro, I was thinking that. I was like, bro, you're a one-time professional winner, maybe 2 at best.
Yeah.
How you got all these people? What money did you get from this? Because even if this is which didn't make any sense, but we don't care about the sense. Like, even if you got your title fight, like, you're not getting broken off on your first major fight for like $50 million. You probably get like $500K or something like that. How you got all these people gathered in a day?
Probably not even that, because Donnie was telling them, look, man, like, I'm sure that purse wasn't big at all. Like,
he had to breathe you on the couch too, son.
Right.
He was chilling.
Right. So that was the setup to get the way he wanted to go, which, again, another understandable plot point, because, like, I've been down for 18 years. I got one shot. I got this dude that I was with back in the day came all the way up.
Took my life.
Right. Also with my life, which is, to me sound like something he told himself. He knows,
of course.
But like with my life, and I know that this is Lil Donnie, so I'm gonna watch him a little bit. I'm gonna chill a little bit and see what happens. And he got these other criminals in his head too, because it's not like these dudes was like happy-go-lucky friends. It's not Cole and Tommy he was hanging with. He was hanging with straight thugs, right? So
he was hanging with some real dudes,
right? So he got some dudes, and he wasn't soft in the first place. So I feel like that's the setup. I kind of would have liked for them to go just a little bit into the setup, which would have made him an even more complex villain. But in my mind, I think definitely there's a setup.
I think they probably didn't go into the setup because it would have made him seem more of the clear-cut villain. Liar reveal is always just like sinister. You can't take it away. So once you do that, it goes, I don't care whatever happened to him, like, finish that dude. Like, he needs to be done. And
cancel that chick. But I want to give a shout out to our 2 leading men in this. Michael B. Jordan took a role that he's already done twice and he didn't make it look stale, so shouts to him for that. And then with Jonathan Majors, man, I know some people who unfortunately had to spend some time with the state. And when I say some time, I'm not talking about little time. And there is that kind of jitteriness that he had is real. That kind of like, I don't know if jittery is the word, but kind of like fidgety, kind of, and
always looking over the shoulder.
Yeah.
Uncomfortable.
Yeah. It's real. And even when you kind of feel bad for your friend, or I guess old friend or whatever, you kind of feel bad, like, yo, man, it's cool. We cool. Like, you can chill. They don't be chilling. They always be. It's always like, and so he came across with that, like, especially in the diner, like in a really good way. And the only time he ever seemed disarmed really was when he had to meet the daughter.
Right. You can feel the tension under the surface from your people that just got out or that had recently been in. You can feel like tense muscles almost. Like I went to see my brother in the halfway house one time, and my brother was a chill cat. You know what I'm saying? One of the coolest dudes I know. Very similar to like this relationship these cats had. And you could feel it, man. The tension is almost in the air. You could almost smell it. It's just like, yo, I'm trying to. You just know they're struggling to figure it out a little bit.
Yeah, so
that's real.
That thing got me, and even the way he played him, even into the final fight. And I'll touch on that because just for a second, he had a look on his face. It might have been after the second round or whatever. He had a look on his face, and I actually felt sorry for him to where I was like, he needs this. Like I thought to myself, I was like, he needs this. Like Donnie don't need this. Like I felt and when I mean he needs this, like this is all he has. He has this is what he's dreamt about for years. Like you've got the, you got the mansion, the business, you got the, beautiful baby girl, wife, your mom. Well, sorry, his mom is passed, but you kind of have your foundation and stuff set. He needs this, and I almost felt like, man, give it to him. Just let him have it. I kind of, because it, not that I wanted him to win, but I just kind of felt bad for him. Because he always talked so much about Donnie being alone, but it's like, nah, man, you alone. Like, you ain't got nothing. I got family, people that love me, care for me, they looking for me to come home and stuff, but you ain't got nothing. And for a second, I felt bad for him. Like, man, like, just let him have it. Like, I kind of felt like that for a second. Like, that's how well he played the role.
No, but I was with him. It's true. Like, I'm sorry, but like, whenever you started doing, they started, especially with the symbolisms in the middle of the match. Like there was a point, like because Donnie was whooping on him, like whooping on him. So this is where the ironic part of this whole movie, because almost 9 times out of 10, the protagonist is getting their butt whooped the entire time until like the last 2 quarters where they find the strength and overcome and yada yada yada. But in this situation, it was just like straight out match. Like this is the difference between the boxer who's still been in practice versus the one that has been, And in that moment, there was almost this period where you're just like, if they flipped it around where they were like, okay, Damien gets his vengeance after all this buildup, and then you see peace from him, and maybe he even apologizes or something like that. It could be like, this would still be a good movie, even if Adonis lost, and you go with it. Almost. And I could see them having done that, and it would have worked perfectly well. Because you can feel for Damien.
It would have still been satisfying, I agree. Like, I would have went for it. Now, would I have done it if I wrote it? Hell no. But
absolutely not, right.
when my man started talking on and Stephen A was like, he been talking about your family and your daughter and your mom, and I'm done after that. I gotta whip you after that. But
he was like, run it.
Yeah. Oh man. Look, I done seen it twice. Right?
When he
and both times when those fools said run it, I said run it at the same time. I was like, yo, look, that's when black men is writing the thing for you, man. Like when I see Ryan Coogler and I just smile real quick, like you wrote that for me, dog.
He tried to be cool. He was like, hey man, look, let's not do it here. And he tried, you know what I'm saying? It's like, yo,
he tried his best. it's also again a testament to such great nuanced writing here. Is like even if we gone with all the Creed movies, every Creed movie he's getting kind of whipped, or he has a challenge worthy of becoming the, like that line, become the person you need to be to accept that challenge or whatever. That's how you got to beat things. And the first 2 times, that's exactly what he had to do. Here is similar, but at the same time, this dude clearly don't have nothing for Donnie. Donnie is a seasoned vet at this point. Not only is he a good fighter and an agile fighter, but he's a smart fighter at this point in time. And like, as much as the commentators had me laughing in the last fight, because that one dude was like, I mean, Donnie hasn't been in the ring for 3 years, and this guy who won 1 fight yesterday was
by cheating at that too, by super cheating.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that cheating too.
I was like, are you serious right now, commentator dude? Like, for real, bro? Like, this dude who came out of jail and won 1 fight is amazing. Donnie's gonna have so much trouble. And I thought it was brilliant. It is such, what's the word? Genuine, the genuineness of the writing. Because if he did have something for Donnie, it might have been a little disingenuous. Because Donnie was the man. And it makes sense.
Saw he had a couple of, he caught him a couple of times, but it was clear that he would do something new and Donnie would figure it out. And then he would try to do something new, and then Donnie would figure that out again. And then,
he caught Donnie a couple times, but Donnie shrugged every one of those hits off. It wasn't never like when Donnie fought Pretty Ricky Conlon in the first movie, Pretty Ricky had it over him. Pretty Ricky was like that loss. Hurting him. That loss didn't even feel bad because he was just outclassed at that point. And then when he was fighting Drago was hurting him, hurting him. And he rose to the challenge because he learned, especially when he learned how to box inside. But like that was a struggle. Whereas this was like, I ain't gonna say it was light work, but this was like this was a day at your job. Like you adversity is here, let's go. And he took it like a man. Both of them did what they had to do, but Dame just, you ain't got it, bro. You didn't have it at this point. I will say though, I do love his Kung Fu Monkey style of boxing. That was dope. Rashad told me some of that was from an actual anime. I can't remember the name of the anime, but he was like that sway back and forth kind of thing. Like that was from an actual anime. But also I saw he was kind of using 52 blocks too.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Cause he just got out of prison. Like
yep, because it was and that fight against Felix, bruh. Look, I was in the seat watching, and I almost stood up like I was at a real fight because I was like, "Oh, come on!" I was like when he did the knee move, I was like, "Yo, what is this?" I was expecting to talk to the ref. I was like, "Yo, man, you see this?" Yo, man, when he kept terrorizing that arm, I was like, bruh. I was like, he gonna whip that arm into shape.
Look, I say, man, look, Felix, you gonna let your mama get you messed up, dog. Like your mama gonna get you messed up, dog. Don't listen to your mama, Felix. Felix didn't look like a heavyweight to me.
No,
nah.
Like, this dude was gonna fight Drago. I feel like Dame kind of did you a service. Drago was gonna kill this dude.
Yo, and shouts to the event that they invited him to, like, which kind of leads to your theory of him planning this out for like a long time, because like you get this kind of tender moment with Tessa. Can't remember Bianca. where he's like, don't you miss it? But then she's also talking about like, knowing how to, when to move on and kind of let stuff go and then kind of like enjoy it in another way and stuff. So because there's a thread of that in this film too. And you see him look at some dudes and I was like, what's about to pop off? And I was like, oh, of course. I was like, they had it. Drago ain't hurt nobody. You know what I'm saying? He's hurt somebody, but you know what I mean.
Listen, that dude went in on Drago. Dang, man! Like you had to concuss the man too. Dang, you couldn't just bust his hand up.
Just bust his hand? Nope.
Right?
Yeah.
That's how you know he was with them real criminals, right? Like he went in there with a baton. Like they had a metal. I guess do studio parties have like metal detectors anymore?
I mean, they're at least exclusive.
I've gone to yes.
About to say we don't.
Like the dudes with the suit be having a wand on you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe it was fiberglass. I don't know.
Or maybe, you know what I'm saying? Hey, let's keep it real. Some people will turn a blind eye for a couple of dollars.
Maybe he had people. Maybe he had people at the door. Like we don't know. Yep. We don't know how deep Dame plans his 2-year plan to destroy Donnie.
Yo, man, when I was like, why he keep looking? And then I was like, oh, here we go. Man, and then I was like, I guess we know how he gonna get that title fight then.
Hey, I love how he manipulated Donnie too. Like, Apollo, what made Apollo take a chance on a bum like Rocky? Yep. You know what I'm saying? Like, wait, you manipulating kids? Like, really, bro?
Yo, he sure did. And shouts to Dame for being slick. Like Dame always wore the sweatpants and the sweatshirt and all that. I'm like, you can still tell he big, but look, when he came to the fight though, yo, I know Felix was like, oh, hold on. Yo, you had sweatshirts on all the time, man. I ain't know. I thought you was just wearing extra shirts. I didn't know you was big like this.
Like I can be big.
Yo,
he had to know at the weigh-in, though.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, you're right. At the weigh-in, he had to know. So yeah,
Felix was a little arrogant, and I was like, Felix, you was trained by Duke, bro. You ain't built for this.
Yo, man. Yo, hold up. You ain't got to do Avon Barksdale like that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's not Avon, though. That's Duke, though. That's Lil Duke. It's not even Big Duke. That's Lil Duke.
Oh, that's cold.
Lil Duke. I have theories on Lil Duke. Lil Duke a hater, first of all. That's first and foremost. Lil Duke a hater. Even every time, I don't even know how to get new boxes in Duke gyms, because whenever Duke see somebody new, he said, man, that dude ain't worth it. We ain't doing this. No. Like, I don't want him in here. Every time. Think about all 3 movies. Even when Donnie first went up in Creed 1, what he said, you ain't built for this. You can't do it here. You gotta fight for life. I was like, come on, bro.
Maybe that's his reverse psychology to get you to work harder or something.
I guess.
You gotta work hard.
Before Dame even revealed himself, Duke was hating already. Nah, you don't owe this dude nothing. Like, that's my homeboy. He just got out of jail. Can we let him sweep up? Dang. Like,
yeah, I'd have been like, first thing I would have been like, all right, man, we'll check it. I know you fresh out. Look, you know what I'm saying? Your people on you for a job. Do you have a job? Because I could just put you on the payroll and give you your papers right now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I know what they'll do is say you ain't got a job in 2 weeks or whatever, violate you and put you back in. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Not saying that I know. I'm just saying I know.
Right.
So it's like, yo, you need a job. You know what I'm saying? Because I can put you on the rolls real quick. He's like, nah, I'm all right, Donnie. I'm cool. I just want to box.
Duke a hater, man. I'm sorry. Duke been hating the whole time. Duke only really messed with Donnie after Rocky stopped messing with him. Duke was like, he saw an opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't get me wrong. I like Duke. You know what I'm saying? He like your whack uncle. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's cold. But he was telling truth. He was like, this man showed you who he was. You know what I'm saying? When he was sparring with Felix, that was when he threw that cheap shot on him. I was like, come on, man. I was like, first we
I feel Duke, but Duke was only able to have that insight because he was a hater already.
He had pre-hateration in his blood.
Great hateration.
Now, to Felix, Felix was he was feeling himself, but he came in. He had the women like feeding him grapes or something. I can't remember. All I know is he had two shorties on him. He had the dude coming out with smoke and everything. Like, see,
that's how you knew it. That's how you knew it was over too. Like whenever
too much,
right?
Yeah, like whenever you have like way too much cool stuff coming on in your intro, it's like, here we go. Like man, you signed your death warrant.
I'm like, so you learning from Creed and Duke, and you not seeing this whole arm thing going down? Like, come on. He got that one good shot and took his tooth out, and after that, it was over.
Yo, he took that tooth out. He was like, yo, all right, let me murder this man. Yo, he would not. I felt bad because I was like, yo, Felix was not ready for this. And you're right, his mama did get him in trouble.
But I mean, I guess also she wanted that payday.
You can't wait for that payday. Mm-hmm. So I don't know, man. Like, I just even Duke. I mean, yes, he might have been hating from the sidelines, but I mean, still, he was right. He was like, don't let that man in the ring.
I mean, he was right, but like at the same time, I feel like it was less about protecting Felix and more about hate.
He's like, I just don't like him.
That's how I feel. I feel like if he loved Felix like he act like he did, he'd have trained him better.
Oh, you know what? Also, Felix been fighting them regular. You know what I'm saying? Just regular dudes at the gym too much.
I'm saying I don't know. I would have liked to see another Felix fight because I don't see it. I don't get it. Heavyweight champion of the world, I don't get it.
And he was undisputed, wasn't he? I think he was undisputed when he didn't he hold like 2-3 belts or something.
I think. Oh yeah, he had the. Oh right, that's true. He had the combination, which also didn't make sense. I'm like, wait, why would you get the combination championships after one fight? Wouldn't it just be in that particular
try?
Yeah.
I was like, why would he get all three? I was like, that don't make no kind of sense.
I feel like they cut some more fights out too. Like I feel like they said he was 1-0, and I don't know why they went with that, but like I feel like we're missing like 10 fights.
Yeah, we're probably missing a kind of a win montage of him like kind of like slaying opponents, and then like him continually talking about how, you know, like him talking about, you know,
Donnie's
mama and stuff and everything, and you know what I'm saying, like, you know, saying Bianca need to be with a real man. No, it's fine. Like, you need to be with a real man, but but I do think that when we get to the fight, and we've seen, you know, little influences, but when they do that kind of like super anime situation, I was like, oh, this is kind of sweet. Like it took me out of the film for a second, and I was like, but only in a way where I was like, oh snap, I see what y'all doing. And then like when they came back and they were like round 11, I was like, oh snap, I get it. I was like, man, y'all killing it. I was just like, y'all killing it. I love that, especially at the end of the round, how they brought everything back, the lights, I was like, this is awesome. This is a really cool way to pull this off without it looking kind of cheesy.
Right. It didn't look like it. This is where, again, you separate from what would already be a predictable story and actually now make it unique in and of itself. Though I'm not gonna lie, all the shots kind of made me angry on the inside. Not for the movie, but it
Mhm.
made me angry at literally every movie made from an anime, how much they failed to be able to look like an anime. And you got one film that's got nothing to do with it, and yet they've been able to perform it out almost perfectly, where it still feels realistic, while simultaneously you see the movement. And I'm just like,
Yeah, because you
guys
get the
serious?
symbolism immediately, like, oh, okay. So this is just like the way they're experiencing this is without any fanfare, and it's it's just them. That's it.
Right.
And you kind of get that across, even when they're looking at each other, in their corners. When you see like the child version of them and stuff, I was just like, yo, this is. I was like, this is awesome. This is well done. I was feeling it for real.
I was like, dang, like I saw when Donnie saw him as a young person, I was like, oh man, wait, you catching feelings? You're gonna lose this round. And then they go to Dame and he's seeing Donnie as that same kid, and I was like, oh no, y'all both catching feelings. And then the double punch.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was great.
The double punch was sweet.
Double punch, the Goku, the
Goku Vegeta.
That's Vegeta, yeah. The Goku Vegeta, like solar plexus punch. And then even in the beginning, when he was fighting Pretty Ricky, and he's like seeing the opening, and still, man, like I will say, I want Michael B. Jordan to direct some more movies, because this is almost the least of what he can do in film if he's using anime influence, and I want to see him blossom. Like, let's go.
Yeah, the way he pulled this together is on point.
I'm interested to see. Look, I'm gonna give Michael B. Jordan his credit as a director, but once again, I'm gonna give Ryan Coogler, who I might still consider probably will go down as the best director. If you want to say action, if you want to say dramatic, but I think he'll go down as one of the best directors, if not the best director producer all time, because I can also see the influences that Michael B. Jordan got from watching Coogler all these years. I mean, since they've been making movies for well over a decade now together.
Yeah, and I remember when they announced that Michael B. Jordan was going to direct it, and I remember a couple of people saying, well, it's his first time, and I'm like, well, I mean, yes and no, because it's not like it's his first time. He's not alone. One of his friends is one of the best directors in the game right now. Like, this is not a problem. Like, he can easily call up, Ryan Coogler and be like, hey, so I got this idea. What do you think? He'd be like, oh yeah, push it like this and do it like that. And all right, cool. And that's it. Like, it's not the same as, like, say, some person who's only done, say, like college student films, and now they're getting a big break. It's much different. Like, you got Ryan Coogler, who you can always lean on for like any explanation, understanding, whatever. And then you got a cast of people. You got Tessa, you got Felicia Rashad, you got Jonathan Majors, you got your boy I cannot remember his name, Avon Barksdale.
Wood Harris.
Wood Harris. So you got tons of dope actors, and even the little girl who comes through, to the point where she surprised me in the same way the young lady in the Logan film surprised me.
Oh yeah.
Because I was like, oh, his kid grew up. Let me guess, the cute kid thing. But then as it went on, I was like, you know what? I love this kid. I was like, this kid is awesome. Just like the same with when I saw the trailer for Logan, I was like, oh god, here we go, protect the kid storyline. And then when you saw the movie, you're like, oh, whoa. I mean, yeah, she needs protection, but maybe from herself, because this kid is crazy. But then the whole thing with like how she was signing, and you could like see her body posture and everything come through. This movie, all of the actors and actresses come through, man. Like, I'm not. So you take the direction plus the anime influences, plus the acting that was on point. I was like, yo, this thing is. I mean, Jason already saw it twice. He knows what's up. Like this movie is on point, and I would have seen it twice if I didn't have to like travel this weekend. Like, this movie is a great way, unless they're making another one. I mean, I guess they could always make
I think they're going to make another one. This one's going to make its money. I think there's no doubt that they'll bring a fourth one. Now, when it happens, who knows? But I think, again, I would not be surprised if they're like, we're going to match the amount of Rocky movies that got made. So we're talking at least 7 Rocky movies, you know?
The only thing is, I think they'll probably be better.
Oh no, 100%. Oh no, 100%. We're not gonna get a horrible. Well, even I didn't really think Rocky 5 was as bad as people said it was. It was stupid, but wasn't as bad.
I was about to say, like, don't
Yeah, no.
You can't fight the Street Fighter fight.
But I do think that they're gonna. I think there's the advantage that one, Michael B. Jordan being a young director, young actor still, and just getting into his prime now, I think is a huge asset to being able to develop. So we don't have to get to 60-year-old Michael B. Jordan trying to just like make the most out of a weird situation that doesn't make any sense.
Oh, you mean like with James Torver or something like that?
Right, exactly. You know, it's just like, oh yeah, 20-something-year-old goes against a 69-year-old boxer that has a chin of steel, apparently. But like, I think they'll make this go. Though I think the funniest thing about this movie is the fact that Jonathan Majors plays the big brother character, even though Michael B. Jordan is older than Jonathan Majors. I don't know why that just makes me laugh. But
how old is Majors? Jeez.
Michael B. Jordan 36. Jonathan Majors is 31, 32, 33.
Oh wow.
But I will say, you know what I'm saying, if you knock Polly down, why you try knocking me down? You know what I'm saying? Yo, that movie.
I like the Tommy Gunn movie.
The Tommy Gunn movie is so bad and good at the same time. I can't front like I haven't seen it. Touch me and I'll see. You know what I'm saying?
The street fighting aspect of it is because usually I do a Rocky marathon and then move on, and I just did it. And what I love, I'm a sucker for continuity, especially if I love the characters. And having Rocky become a street fighter, now that he has brain damage and stuff and whatever, it's just so dope to me. I was like, I gotta take it to the street, man. He ain't got no other recourse.
Yo, man, he knocked that dude into the trash and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man, he was knocking him into the gate. You know what I'm saying? Tommy was like, he thought he had him, but I was like, yeah, Tommy, you know you're a boxer, whatever, but you don't remember Rocky was a thug in these streets, boy.
Yep, you know what I'm saying? He was chasing chicken. You know what I'm saying? You don't know about that.
He was a mob enforcer back in the day. Like he was a collection agent. So when they need to collect on, old boy at the pier or whatever, they said Rocky.
Mm-hmm.
And he had put back on the hat and the leather jacket. I was like, oh, thug Rocky now.
he didn't know that he was fighting a man that was like a piece of iron. You know what I'm saying? He
should have known. It literally had just happened. Like,
yeah, you're right. Yo, man. You're fighting against a guy who stopped the Cold War. I mean, come on, like, stop it.
He literally defeated Russia. Like,
he ran to the top of a mountain. Like,
yes.
Like, come on, man. It's like you're not going to beat him. But I do remember that little warm up outfit that Tommy Gunn had on. He thought it was all that.
Oh man, he had his Adidas, you know what I'm saying? His Nike warm up on, boy. He was
couldn't tell him nothing. He had a little shorty with him and stuff.
Yeah, he had his fingers and stuff. Yeah, he had that old shorty with him that Duke gave him. Not Duke. What's his name? What's his name? Duke in the movie?
What's his name, Duke?
His name was Duke.
Yo, I think his name was Duke in the movie.
Hey, how many Dukes they got in the Rocky?
Hey, man, they said, hey, Duke is a common teacher name. We're gonna have him rolling through here.
That's 3 Dukes. So Big Duke trained Apollo.
Yep.
Lil Duke trained. Well, I ain't giving him the credit, but technically, Lil Duke trained Creed, and then the evil Duke
Evil Duke.
had Tommy Gunn, was Tommy Gunn's promoter. That's great. Were they all related? Like, what if they? Were they all?
There's just a whole bunch of brothers named Duke in that. I don't know.
Okay, so in my continuity now, old Duke and evil Duke was brothers, and they on either side. You know, they like the light side and the dark side of boxing.
True that. Yep, I'm down with that. I'm willing to go with that. But yeah, all right. So I'm gonna throw it the gift. Final thoughts, and where can people find you?
Oh man, yo, this movie, I think obviously a great debut for Michael B. Jordan in terms of directing. Again, I think this is also the start of a new generational cycle of anime influences being significant components of our films coming up. Because a lot of this generation, I know there's our generation that watch anime, but this generation like lives through it culturally. And I think we'll see more of that in our action movies as the time comes. So, man, big shout outs to them for showing it more and actually paying attention to that. You can find me at Gift Time Rugby on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and of course, check out the HBCU Rugby Classic March 31st to April 2nd in Washington, D.C. at Howard University. Definitely want to check it out. And if you can't make it, we'll have it streaming, but it's going to be better to feel it live than it will be to see it on the screen and sit in the regret. Get the tickets on hbcurugbyclassic.com.
Word up, word up, word up. And Mr. Reed, final thoughts, where can they find you?
Man, just superior filmmaking, man. As always, from the Coogler camp, and you know, by very much wanted extension, the Michael B. Jordan camp. I absolutely agree with Gift over here. Like, we are in total agreement. The anime influence is much wanted, much warranted. And I really hope that there's more to come, especially from Michael B. Jordan. And yes, thumbs all the way up for Creed 3, man. Like, every once in a while we get a movie that just feels like it was for us, like for old black men and young black men alike. And man, I love it. I love it to death. The Creed trilogy is close to my heart, man. Like, one bone I do have to pick though. Ryan Coogler, you gotta stop killing the Queen Mother, bruh.
Right?
Yeah, like, what is it? Like,
enough.
Yeah, like, look, Ryan. All right, Ryan. Look, we can have more motivations than just people dying.
Well, I mean, you can kill off people, but stop killing off the queens. There's a legendary queen, Angela, then Felicia. Like,
come
all
on,
he got left is what's her name? Felicia's sister. Felicia's sister.
Oh, Debbie Allen. Yep.
Exactly.
Come on, man.
But nah, I love it anyway. You can find me at 133art.com. That's the hub. At 133art or 133art Publishing on all social media. You know, rock with us.
Word up, word up. I guess my final thoughts will be that this movie, for me, has not only cemented, you know, Coogler and Michael B. Jordan, but also done a great job to make Creed its own thing. Like, no longer does he have, I mean, of course he has ties to Rocky, but no longer does it have, kind of like we said earlier, the weight of Rocky and any of his, like, you know, maybe family stuff or his thoughts and whatever. This is completely based on what's going on with Adonis, and that's it. And there was a lot of weight in it, a lot of emotion. And even in the end, you know, we see, you know, two brothers, they went at it, but at the end he said, look, man, you know where to find me, you know. And I mean, he sat down with him, and, you know, you could see that, you know, they both was like, yo, I'm sorry how things went down back then. So I love this movie. This movie is top notch. Like, like Jason said, thumbs all the way up. This is what we need. All right. So Michael B. Jordan, I know you listen to the podcast. So next movie, you and Jonathan Majors can do some other stuff. Don't waste no time. Strike while the iron's hot. Y'all need to go in and do like James Cameron and film like 3 movies at a time. Going in, I don't even care what y'all do. Like next time, y'all can do something in space. Y'all can be some, I don't know, assassins or something. Y'all can do a rom-com. Just spread it around. Do some different stuff.
What y'all could do is research black comics, the black comics.
Oh yes.
Industry. And y'all could come find 133 Art or any of the various other black comic entities, indie comic entities, and there's a wealth of characters and information and stories for y'all to come and put into Hollywood, since y'all got y'all producers and director hats on.
You know what? And since you said that, before I sign off, I'm going to say this. I'd love to see y'all, do some time traveling stuff. You got Retcon. You know what I'm saying? Y'all could do some more. You could do some more superhero type stuff. You could do something like One Nation. I mean, y'all already got the Ripley muscles, so come on now. You know what I'm saying? Then
right while the muscles is hot.
You know what I'm saying? then if you want to get, your supernatural horror or something, you got Crescent City Monsters. You know what I'm saying? If you want to do a period piece, you know what I'm saying? You could do Harriet Tubman Demon Slayer, get y'all producer on. You know what I'm saying? Then of course, I mean, y'all always got something for the kids. You got Pac Sampson out there. You know what I'm saying? Don't sleep. You know what I mean? Look, there's options out there for it. You know what I'm saying? So, don't sleep. Don't forget that Black Comics has a wealth of, a wealth of content that you don't have to go to the big 2 for, you know what I'm saying, and give you a chance to, keep it fresh. You know what I'm saying? Spray, hashtag Black Dollars.
Let's go.
So NERD, SOUL, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, podcast, all that jazz. And until next time, until the next achievement or until the next knockout, we're just saying peace.